Hi everyone. I just, I guess, celebrated 1 week of posting a lot. I went on a lot of adventures this week and did a lot of things, and I figured that it would be suiting to have like a section about how, like the reason, like how we do it, why we do it, like the reason behind going on the adventures and what I learn on the adventures. So I'm gonna start by giving a general explanation of I go on adventures because I didn't always leave my house. I spent 10 years of my life, I'm only 25. I spent at least 10 years of it. I leave it off at 10 years, though it's technically been the last couple of years as well. But at least 10 years of my life I've spent stuck in the house, scared to leave because I have like anxiety problems and trauma and all sorts of crap. Yeah? And I've always loved the woods, and I couldn't always go to the woods without freaking out just because it was that scary. And so now that I'm doing better, I want to go back to the woods and spend more time there, and they're even more pretty than the last time I saw them, which was like when I was like 16 or younger, basic, or like 14 more like, but you get what I mean. And so, and there's been a lot I've been learning as well. And I'm a Christian, and since it's Sunday, I figured that it would be fitting to mention some of the things I learned about Jesus this week on these adventures. So, I learned this week that, because at the beginning of the week, we spent a lot of time going to rivers. Yeah? Um, Specifically viewing like flood damage and stuff. And then at the end of the week, we also went to like Flaming Geyser State Park, and that's near the Green River Gorge. And what that made me think is that water is pretty powerful in like creation, in the sense that it wears down mountains and rocks, it moves everything, but all it needs is time. Yeah. um and so my brain, it suddenly clicked, and I was like, wait a second, it's kind of another metaphor, because when I'm in the woods I find metaphors, okay, between the creation and the creator. The water is like the living water of Christ, and how it erodes things is Christ's victory. And it's just proof that God is always going to win. If there's a mountain in front of you, God's going to carve a river through it for you, or over time, obviously, because you're going to need work on it. It's not like you just sit there, you know. But like, there's that. And then I wanted to mention, before I had this channel, there was salmon runs. That was a big thing for me. It clicked. It was the first time I could ever see a salmon run in person, like long term, instead of just like driving by. It was crazy because like the salmon, they're going up the river, they're literally dying as they're doing so because they're trying so hard, and they're doing that for their kids that they've never met. And Christians, we're called children of God. I'm a child of God, and I like to think of Jesus going through all that he went through on the cross as like a salmon going up the river, basically rotting to death and dying so that we could live. So there's that. Just figured I'd sneak that one in. But, and then finally this week I learned that, well, actually this kind of started by me learning that there's a lot of negativity on social media, and I want to share things that make me happy in the hopes that there will be less negativity. I want to be something good to the world. I don't want to be something that makes people unhappy. So I hope you guys enjoy from here on out, and every now and again when I get inspired, there's probably going to be another video like this. See ya!